What's up, everybody? It's SockCap again. Second video today. Y'all are blessed. I'm telling you, I don't normally do this. I wanted to go over a few tips that can help you improve in MOBAs in general. And I think when Core comes out, that these things will apply to Core, a lot of them, because to me, it feels like Core is gearing towards a mixture between League and Paragon. It's all speculation. I don't know that for a fact, but a lot of the things that they stated in their POCs that they've now erased kind of send that message. Once again, I'm a nobody, so, take this with a grain of salt. There's a lot of other people that you can go to for better understanding or higher level understanding, because I was just a low diamond player in Paragon, which in the grand scheme of things, that game was pretty fucking easy. So, there wasn't as many mechanics to it, I guess. If you want some basic tips, make sure to check out the community figures over in Core's Discord. A lot of them, will be able to give you those silver level tactics that I don't really know about. Like, what champion should I play? Oh, play Chimera with this build. You won't lose, lol. He's so good. If you want those tips and tricks, check out, like I said, some of the community figures over at Core's Discord. They'd be able to help you out with that. But going into it, tip number one, make sure that you ping summoner spells. Summoner spells being Ignite, Flash, Barrier, Heal, all those things that they have in League. They said in the POCs that they're planning on adding those to the game. And by ping, what I mean is when somebody on the other team uses one of those, make sure that you type in, Murdoch used Flash at 12 minutes. And if it was like League, you would know that Flash would be on a 5-minute cooldown. So he wouldn't have Flash until 17 minutes. Your whole team would be able to see when he used his Flash. Your jungler would be able to plan more successful ganks, or your mid could rotate over, and you could get a higher chance of having a successful gank. Number two is ward. We don't know how wards are going to work in Core, but if it's anything like League, once again, make sure that when you back and you buy your items, if you have any money left over to buy a ward, make sure that you buy a ward. Make sure that you use it in a place that's a high traffic, or a place that a jungler is likely to gank from, or if you don't think that you need to ward your lane or anything like that, or if you already have a ward up, ward the jungle, something like that, so the jungler can have a better idea of what's going on the other side of his jungle. If he's getting invaded, it'll eliminate at least 1/4 of the possibilities where the enemy jungler could be. Number three, tying into that, is map awareness. Make sure that you're fucking looking at your map every 5 seconds at least. Okay? I want you to be looking at your map like there's the next episode of Game of Thrones. It's just airing on your other monitor, so you need to be just constantly looking back and forth. It's very important to just kind of keep track of that, because you're going to catch a lot of things with that. If you don't, then you're going to overextend. You're going to get ganked by a jungler that your whole team sees coming, and then they're going to flame you, and then it's no fun. Number four, kind of tying into map awareness, if leashing is a thing, right? Leashing being red buff, blue buff, your jungler trying to take those at level 1, having the laners come over to help him burn them down so he can take it faster and get an earlier start or a lead. If you see the laners on the opposite side of the map on the enemy team, if they come into lane late, if they have any health missing, something like that, then you know that they probably helped the enemy jungler leash that camp or that buff. So if that's the case, then you know you have a little bit of early wiggle room to be aggressive or to go for an all-in or all that stuff when you know that you can kill, because you know that the jungler is going to be on the other side of the map and you don't have to worry about them. Number 5, this should be common sense. Don't die for towers. If they are going to take your tower, if you got 3 motherfuckers on your doorstep and your tower's got like 1 hit, don't sit under that shit. Fucking move. They're going to get that tower regardless. So don't give them a kill and a tower. You're just giving them an unnecessary lead from that. It's not worth it. Number 6, positive attitude and shot calling. Make sure, I know it's hard sometimes when you've got a brain dead jungler that comes in and feeds your laner a kill or whatever. Try to stay positive. Flaming your team just makes them tilt and is going to increase your chances of a loss. That being said, with shot calling, if you maintain a positive attitude, then they're more likely to listen to you. And make sure, once again, at lower elos, every time you get a kill, you get a few kills, or you wipe them, or whatever it is, you go for an objective, whether it's the Revenant or whatever they said it was, which is essentially League's Dragon, or a tower, or Prime Buff, or taking camps in their jungle. Make sure that you do something that gives you a net positive economic gain or map control. Number 7, we don't know how backing is going to work. We know that it takes longer to get into lane than it did in Paragon. So try to make sure that you set up your wave before you back so that you can back and get back and not miss anything gold-wise or experience-wise, whether that's pushing your wave all the way to their tower and then backing, or waiting until you have a super minion wave and then backing. We'll see how that is when the game comes out, but make a conscious effort to only back when you have to, and only back when you're not going to miss anything. Unnecessary backing is definitely not a good thing, and a thing that I used to see all the time in low elo. Number 8, know when you can kill. It's kind of a harder one right there, but make a mental note. Usually in MOBAs they'll have little ticks on their health bar. Make a note as to how much HP each tick is. Make a note how much damage you do, how much damage your abilities do, and all that stuff. You can kind of estimate, obviously, by how much damage you're doing to minions, and then mitigate that damage a little bit depending on how much armor they have or resistance they have. So try to make an estimate in your head as to what it's going to take to kill them. And when you know that, or when you have that feeling, or you know that for sure, any opportunity that you see, make sure that you jump on that and all in. You want to create your own lead. You don't want to wait for a jungler or somebody to rotate over if you don't have to. You want to create your own lead as often as possible. That way, if you're consistently winning your lane, more than likely you will be consistently climbing. Number 9 is wave control. Once again, we don't know exactly how that's going to work in core, but like in other MOBAs, obviously having a wave frozen in front of your tower is a nice thing. If the wave is going to crash into your tower or push into your tower, what you can do is after your wave dies, you can try to get the creeps to aggro you and pull them away from the tower until your wave comes back and you can kind of freeze it in the same location. But if you maintain a freeze in front of your tower, it gives your jungler the opportunity to come in and gank and have more time essentially to pull that gank off because they're going to be so pushed up. And On the flip side of that, if they don't push up, then they're just missing out on CS and gold, and you can create a lead through that as well. The last point that I wanted to make is when to rotate. We know, if movement speed is the same in the map test, if movement speed, stays the same in the map test in core, then we know that it's going to take a while for you to get back to lane. We know that it's going to take a while for you to rotate between lanes. So obviously, if you're losing your lane, rotating might not be a good idea. You might want to just stay and farm, try to wait for your jungler to come in and get a gank off so you can get back into the game. If you're ahead significantly, then it's not going to hurt you to maybe push your wave into their tower, then rotate and try to get a gank off and extend your lead to other lanes, because that's ideally what you want to be doing. Is you want to take your lead that you have in your lane and try to apply that to lanes that are struggling or lanes that are even. That way you can have more of a lead in different areas on the map and kind of control the pace of the game or get more map control with all of your teammates. So anyway, those are just a few basic tips. Once again, if you want to talk about it in person, you can follow me at twitch.tv/sockcap. I play a lot of League right now because there's nothing else to play, and I fucking hate my life. So anyway, I'm more than willing to talk about that. Any sort of tips and tricks, all that shit. So anyway, y'all have a good night.